Ja Morant is giving away 250 tickets to fans, well, a pair of tickets, so 500 total tickets for Friday's game against the Utah Jazz. Ja was doubtful for Sunday's game with a calf strain, one of the many players out with calf strains. It seems like things are pointing towards Ja coming back on Friday. This is a welcome back party for him, but it's also a litmus test because the Grizzlies were 4-10 to start the year with Ja Morant. A quick reminder, early in the year, those first 14 games, Ja Morant shot 26% of his total shots at the rim. That was a career low. He made a career worst 55% of those. He shot a career worst 16.7% from three. He had a career high 3.8 turnovers per game. He was stationary off ball. He was targeted defensively. He got benched in the fourth quarter of a game against the Lakers. He undercut the coaching staff after the game, post-game, with microphones in his face. And at the time, the offense was sluggish. The new pick-and-roll heavy offense that was supposed to be for Ja wasn't working. And the tracking data, going back to earlier in the year, they made the fewest passes per half-court possession of any team in the NBA. And since he got hurt, that skyrocketed up to third. They're third in the NBA in passes per half-court possessions. They go from last to third just by removing Ja Morant. And they've won 7 of those last 10 games without him. Zach Edey is back and playing at a really high level on both ends. Cedric Coward continues to look really good as a rookie. Jalen Wells is playing great. Cam Spencer is playing great. So it's lottery picks playing well. It's second rounders playing well. The ball's moving. Pace is high. And so Ja Morant comes back now. And what needs to change? He needs to make quicker decisions. He can't be pounding the air out of the ball. He's near the NBA in time of possession and dribbles per touch, but he's near the bottom in efficiency. He's just got to fit in more with this team because at one point, Ja for the Grizzlies, he had to be their savior. But right now, Memphis needs a teammate. And unfortunately for him, between the suspensions, the lack of self-awareness, the comments he's made publicly, and the inability to adapt, Morant's shown zero interest in being that teammate. And so if he comes back and if he hijacks the offense, if he staggers the development of this youth again, the Grizzlies are going to have to trade Ja. This is his last chance here, Tom. It's his last chance to prove himself as a member of the Grizzlies for being part of this new era, this new future here, and also to prove himself to any other team that might have interest as well. So he bought tickets for the fans. That's awesome. It's great. They're going to, have 500 people there excited to see him, but he's got to earn patience here from the other fans and from the organization. And this is the moment we're really going to find out if Ja Morant has it in him starting on Friday with his return.
Yeah. After watching that game against the Blazers and not noticing them missing Ja Morant in the least, just the ball was moving. They were so good. And it looked like the chemistry was as good as I've seen a Memphis Grizzlies team in a long, long time. And it is no coincidence that Ja Morant was on the bench for that game. I mean, if you're the Grizzlies, you got to be so excited about the future, right? Like you got Cedric Coward and Santi Aldama, and you've got Zach Edey and this young core there. And it's really odd because I feel like they're the face of the team right now. Like those young guys are what gets you excited to watch the Memphis Grizzlies. And it's not Ja Morant or Jaren Jackson Jr., who, by the way, Jaren Jackson Jr. is very thankful for Ja Morant and all his antics this year and the injury this year because it's taken a lot of scrutiny off of him. He's having one of the most disappointing seasons in the league. He got his extension in the offseason, 22 points a game last year, down to 17 this year, just not the same player. And Zach Edey, it seems like he's almost taking the throne from Jaren Jackson as like the guy inside for Memphis. And I think like when you look at this Memphis Grizzlies team, who are you wanting to build around? Is it Ja Morant still? Is it Jaren Jackson Jr. still? Or is it the young guys? And I would argue, if I'm a Grizzlies fan, I want to see them all play together, at least for a little while before I come to this determination. But I got to tell you, they're a lot more fun when Cedric Coward and Zach Edey are running the show than Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. for a long time.
There's a real chance, Tom. I mean, like I said, this is his chance. Like Ja coming back Friday and Jaren Jackson too. I mean, like you said, all the attention on Ja has removed it from Jaren Jackson Jr. But for both of those guys, I want to see them all play it together as well. I'm 100% with you there, but it's very possible that if this doesn't go well, if Ja doesn't change, if he's slowing things down again, it's very possible in a couple of weeks here, I'm on this podcast with you saying the Memphis Grizzlies need to blow it up 100%. They have to do it before the deadline. Trade Ja, trade Jaren. It's very possible that that's where we'll be at. And I would bet on that being what ends up happening. I have very little faith in Ja Morant's ability to adapt to this offense that they're running. I don't think he's shown a lot of qualities and changes that. And for so many years, I've always talked about, well, if Russ does this, if Russ changes, Russell Westbrook, that is, if this guy does that, if this guy does that, because you do see players evolve, but a lot of the times you don't. And with Ja Morant, we're going to find out what category is he in. Is he a guy that can evolve and become somebody who keeps the ball moving and makes quick decisions, or looking for the secondary assist, the hockey assist, and making that extra pass? Or is he going to be a guy that continues dribbling the ball a lot till the end of the clock? And that worked for him in the past to great heights. He was a great player at his best. He was one of the top 15 or so guys in the NBA at his peak, and it worked for him. But is he going to show an ability to evolve from that, considering he's just not that guy anymore? It's just the reality of the situation. He's not the same athlete he was then. He's not as explosive. He's not as careless, which was part of his superpower when going to the rim and attacking the rim, avoiding injury a bit more. Now, he talked about how he's not going to dunk anymore a year ago. And so can he evolve from that? I don't think he's shown much of an ability to do so, but we'll see. We're going to see starting on Friday.
Yeah, this is a guy that desperately needs a floor spacing arsenal, a weapon beyond the arc, because teams are going to go under that pick and roll. They're going to pack the paint. And then what are you, Ja Morant? Like, if you don't have that superpower finishing at the rim, he was the guy who was leading the league in points in the paint not too long ago. And now he's got 3 dunks on the season in 12 games. And that's just a different player. And so I guess he's going to watch like J Kidd tape and just how to be able to have a late blooming 3-point shot, knockdown 3-point shot at this point in his career. It's very rare to find. It's certainly possible. But what is Steph Curry without a 3-point shot?
Real quick, Tom, like you say late stage career, he's 26.
I know,
and we're already talking about this. You know what I mean?
I know.
He's 26. That's the twisted part of our conversation here. We're talking about Ja needing to evolve like he's 36, but he's 26. But that's the reality of the situation. That is the reality here with him.
Yeah, it's just if you're not willing to drive in the paint, or you can't drive into the paint like you used to and rise above the defense and be the early Derrick Rose, the prime Russell Westbrook, the early Ja Morant, then you're going to have to figure out ways to be effective from the perimeter and space and not have teams pack the paint when you got Zach Edey out on the floor. So it becomes a lot tougher for Ja Morant to be an all-star in today's NBA when he's not got the nitro boosters and basically the ability to get into the paint at will and finish above the defense. So, like I said, if Steph Curry didn't have a 3-point shot, he'd still be an effective player because of his ability to finish and get into the paint and his handles. But he's not an all-star. And that's the same thing with Ja Morant. If he's not the guy who's dunking all over everybody and finishing acrobatic moves around the rim and getting downhill relentlessly, then he's just another guy.